Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin Yoder with OneControlReport.com, here today to talk about Family Pirate Party for the Nintendo Wii. This is a part of the Family series that was on WiiWare and developed by Arc System Works, and they're basically a set of mini games or kind of smaller budget releases on WiiWare that I think they're like $5 that kind of copy other game genres out there. So there's like family tennis, family go-karting, things like that. And some of these got ported to later consoles, so like there's Family Tennis SP on the Wii U and Nintendo Switch, but Family Pirate Party has remained, I believe, exclusively on WiiWare, so it's not something you can get today without hacking your system or just already owning the game or something like that. Which, you know, I'm not gonna say you should go out of your way to play this game because it's kind of, I'd say, a little disappointing. It kind of positions itself as a simplified mix of Mario Party and Fortune Street. So you have like basically a board game that you're going around, you're sailing between different spots on this board, and then either you play some mini games or also you can like claim property and kind of do some property management. Not really property management, I should say, but that's a part of the game to some extent. So how this works is as you move around these spaces, you know, depending on what the space is, you get different effects. So if you land on a blank island, you get a slight amount of gold, and you also claim that island for yourself. So if anybody ends up landing on that island, they'll need to pay you for landing on it. You can also find spaces that have cannons on them, and when you have those cannons, you essentially can shoot a random spot on the field to blow up a property that somebody else has claimed. There's these little house islands that give you like cards for things like, you know, items like multi-dice, the ability to steal money from other characters, things like that. And then finally, there's also mini-game spaces where you can basically earn some money, and whoever at the end of the game has the most money is the person who wins. And on paper, this all seems fine, but really the challenge comes into play here where there's not really a huge amount of choices the player makes while playing this game. There's just not a lot of diversity in the field, you know, where you can go and things like that. And a lot of the card usage items that you get a limited number of them during a match, so it's typically like you get 1 or 2 cards, and the majority of them are movement focused, so they're like allowing you to move further. It allows you to move like a particular series of steps, things like that. So there's just not a lot of choices to be made while playing this game. So what ultimately ends up kind of happening is you kind of roll the dice and it just kind of plays out on its own, which, you know, I think in some degree you could look at Mario Party and say, oh, that's like an all luck-based game. You know, there's turns where you just roll the dice and essentially nothing happens, or the player doesn't make any choices. But there's just not a lot of player interactivity here. Now, you do get those mini games if you land on those mini game spaces, and there's about 3 mini games, but they're kind of the most straightforward mini games you can have for a Wii game. So essentially, one of them is you're fighting an octopus, and how you fight that octopus is just waggle the Wiimote as fast as possible, and depending on how many times you hit that octopus, you get more money. The other one is using a baseball bat to knock away meteors, and then the final one is using the pointer on the Wii Remote to shoot at cannonballs being shot at your ship. And those are the 3 mini games, and depending on how well you perform, you know, you get different amounts of money based off that. They're pretty straightforward though, and like I said, not particularly exciting to play either, so they're kind of just there. And because there's no variety too, they just become really tedious and kind of boring. But that is one of the few things in the game you have any kind of influence over, depending on, you know, how well you perform in the mini game. The rest of the game is basically entirely luck based, and even the things like, you know, how much money you get for landing a space, how much money you steal from other players, it's all slot machine based. So you never know like how much money you're gonna get or how much money is gonna be stolen. And so frequently there's just times where you as a player has just like not only rolled poorly, but you also like got poor rolls on actual money amounts that you get, and it just feels like there's nothing you could have done as the player to succeed. And when you are winning, it feels like there's nothing you as the player did to achieve that victory. So it's kind of unsatisfying on both sides. You know, it really is a game that feels like it gives you the minimum amount of things to do to call it a video game, and then for the most part is basically just a way to kill time, and there's just not a lot of variety here. There are 3 maps. I mean, it looks like there was maybe some downloadable content, though I didn't particularly look into what that is because they're not available to purchase anymore. The maps do get a little bit more complicated as you get further into them, but for the most part, it's usually like just one spot on the field where you choose which direction you want to go, and the second map has 2 paths, and the third map has 3 paths you can go down. So it just kind of, you know, diversifies the map a little bit and what kind of, you know, place fields you'll have depending on which players go which way and claim what spots. So yeah, but I mean, on the bright side, I can say it's got a cute aesthetic, and when you do win a round, the character you've chosen, either the two kids or the mom and dad, you get a really nice, colorful piece of artwork for that character. That I think looks pretty good. But otherwise, just not that much to do in this game. And I spent probably about an hour of this by myself. I didn't play any multiplayer, so maybe that's a missing component here. But again, I just don't see the pieces that are here to make a compelling party game experience. I don't want to be too hard on this game because, like, the Family series was one of the earlier downloadable series on the system, and a lot of download games often felt more like novelties back then. That's not to say that's always the case, but they're typically shorter experiences, and usually, especially on WiiWare, they just really couldn't offer a lot due to not only the limited price, but also just the limited amount of storage and assets that you could have. So I don't want to be too hard on Family Pirate Party, from an era where if you're going to buy a new video game, it was going to be $50. Having some other choice was pretty nice, and I can't say Family Pirate Party would have been a good choice to make for $5, but honestly, in the context of when it came out, I think it probably was somewhat okay. I say that, but you probably can go back and look at reviews and see what they said. But I'm willing to give this game a somewhat of a pass. But that being said, should you play Family Pirate Party? Absolutely not. I just don't see any real fun or value in this game, unfortunately. But again, it looks cute. so yeah, but there's other much better, party board games on the Wii, between the Mario Party series and the Wii Party series and other games like that, which, at the time would have been a full retail price game, where this would just be $5, but this game sparked little joy in me when I was playing it. Anyways, that's it for this week. Thanks for coming. OneControlPort.com is the website. I don't think I have any other real party game kind of content out there. If I can think of anything, I'll put it at the end of this video. But otherwise, just go check out some of my other casual reviews. I've been doing a lot of smaller Wii games here and there too. I did a review on Jeep Thrills for the Wii, so if you want to check that out, you can do that. Anyways, that's it for this week. Thanks for coming. OneControlPort.com is the website, and I hope you have a great week. Bye!